Alright, so now we're going to look at how to publish new content or to add new content to the website. And you'll log in with the credentials that you've been given, whatever those may be. And log in. It's going to bring you to a control panel. Let's say we want to add a ministry. Now right now I've created a generic kids ministry page. And you can see that I've got an image here and then just some generic text. But let's say that we wanted to add another ministry. Now we already know how to edit kids, so if we want to make changes to the kids page, we know how to do that by going to edit and just making the changes. But let's say we wanted to add a new ministry to the website under worship ministry. Okay. Well, the way that I would do that is first I need to decide what category am I creating. Is it going to go under the church? Is it going to go under the ministries or the events? Well, obviously it's not an event because that's pretty self-explanatory. It's an event. It's not media because that's pretty self-explanatory. That's video and audio. Based on what we talked about, the church was going to be kind of an about us page, about our mission, our staff, our values, things like that. So obviously this is going to go under ministries. It's a worship ministry. So what I would do is I would go to publish, and there's going to be a drop down menu, and this is where I go and select the area that the content is going to go under. Okay, this being worship ministry, I'm going to go down to publish the ministries, and it's going to bring up a form that looks very similar to our home page, just a lot less content. And this is where you're going to put in the information for a page that's going to look like this. So that page is going to have a title. That page can have an image if you'd like for it to, or it could have a video if you'd like for it to have that. And then it's going to have text and really any content you want. You have control of that. So we're going to give this a title, and we'll just call it worship for right now. Now the title is important because that title that you give it is going to be displayed in the drop-down menu when they put their mouse over the button for worship. And it's also going to be displayed in the sidebar underneath, actually that's supposed to say ministries there, I'll make that change, but underneath the ministries it'll display every ministry that's been created. So right now we have kids, so that kids title is being displayed here, here, and here. The title is important, so whatever you would want to name it, and I would encourage you to be generic with it, in general, not specific, so that if a visitor comes to your website, maybe maybe your kids ministry has some really creative name, but if a visitor's coming to your website, I would encourage you to name it kids, students, worship, things like that. And then once they get to the page, you can be specific with the name. So we're going to title it worship is what we want it to be called. And then in the body window here is where you're going to put in all the information. Now I'm just going to go ahead and grab some generic text, and I'm going to copy and paste this in. And you can type anything here you want, descriptions of ministries or whatever you want to do, but text is pretty self-explanatory. You just type that in, and then you're going to see some tools up here inside the body window. You're going to see bold, italic, underline, pretty self-explanatory stuff, some text align things. But let's look at some of these other icons you've got. This globe with the chain icon is a link. So if I wanted to link a certain word, let's maybe the worship had their own blog, and I wanted to say read the blog. I could highlight that. Matter of fact, let's just type that in. Read the worship ministry blog here. Well, maybe I want to highlight here, and I want to link that. Well, I'm going to click on the link icon, and that's going to bring up this box, and it just gives me a URL to type in, and I could type in whatever, whatever the address is. I'm just going to type in Yahoo for right now. And it's going to link that word here to the web address that I just typed in. You have unlink. You have a print tab. You have spell check. You can just put your mouse over it, and it'll tell you what it is. Cut. You can scroll down here a little bit. You got paste. This one is very important. It is paste from Word. And when you're typing in Microsoft Word, it has some formatting issues that the web doesn't like. So if you just copy and paste straight from Microsoft Word, it's going to mess up some. So if you're ever taking something from Microsoft Word, click this icon and select and copy and paste it copy it in Word, and then paste it in this box right here, and it'll fix all the formatting issues for you, and then put it in the box where you need it. You've got size. If you ever want to make something bigger, you can make it bigger and make it more bold if you had a heading. So I could go down here and say, the set list for this week, and if I wanted to bring attention to that, I could bold it, put it 16 font, and then start typing things. Then we get to where we would add our images and our videos. So I want to add an image at the top of the page, so I'm going to create some space, and this first icon that looks like a picture frame with a house in it is for image. If I select that icon, I see a few tabs up top, and I'm going to go to upload, and I get to choose the file from my hard drive, and I've got a lot of stuff here. I'm just going to select this. It's actually an old-timey picture from another project I was working on. Once I select that file, I'm going to send it to the server. I'll know it's done because it's going. Once it loads, it'll take me back to the original page. It'll show me a little preview of the picture here, and I can change sizes by working with the width and height here. And I would encourage you to keep your images to 575 on the width for these content pages. I can give it space and border, and you can just play around with those things, give it certain alignment, whatever you'd like to do there. And once I have everything like I like it, I click OK, and it's going to put that image in there for me, so you can see it there, so that I know what I'm working with. And now that the page looks like I want, I can click Submit, and let's go see what it looks like. If I refresh my page, under Ministries, I should see two buttons now. Okay, I do. I've got Kids and I've got Worship. And if I click on Worship, I'm going to see my page that I just created. It's going to have the title. It's going to have the image that I just created and the text that I have. And we see where I bolded it here and made it bigger, and we see where I linked to Yahoo. Okay, so you can see all that. And then over here in the sidebar, over here in the sidebar, we see the links for the ministries that have been created thus far. So we got Worship and we got Kids. Okay, now what if I wanted to add a video instead of a picture? Well, I want to go back and edit, so I'm going to click on the Edit tab because that content already exists. It's already up on the website now. I'm going to go back and I'm going to find, I named it Worship. Right now I can see it because there's only a few entries, but just to get in the habit of there being a lot, I'm going to type in Worship, looking for the title of that entry, and it'll pull it up for me here. It's going to pull up my tab, and let's say, well, I want to get rid of the picture, and I would rather use a video, like a video from YouTube. Maybe I have a clip of my worship ministry or something like that. If I keep scrolling down these icons here, I'm going to get to what looks like film strip, and if I hold my mouse, it'll say embed media. When you click on that icon, you're going to get a box that allows you to paste an embed code in this box. Now, you get those embed codes from places like YouTube or Vimeo. Well, you know what? Let's just go ahead and do YouTube. And we see Chris Tomlin singing right here. So let's just click on that, and down below that image, or below that video, excuse me, you're going to see an embed button. It's different for different players, but all of them are going to allow you to embed it. So we're just going to go ahead and select that that code. We actually would like to have a custom size. We want to go 575. And once we get all that done, we can select this, copy that code, go back into our box and hit paste. And we're going to have our video now. Now we won't be able to see it in this box because it's not going to play the video in the form. But if I hit update and then I go back to my page and I refresh it, click on Worship, I'm going to see my content that I created down here with my text and all this good stuff. And then I'm going to see this YouTube video that I just embedded. That's a little big because it's shot not in widescreen, but you know, it'll do. You can kind of do what you need to do with it. So you have full control. You can put in more than one video, more than one picture, whatever you want to do there, you can do that. just by working with those icons in your body there in your box.